you have a well-lit area, you're going to have better results. And there has to be depth there for it to be able to get the effect. So what we found is if there's at least 10 feet of distance between the subject and the background, you can start to play with that slider and start to shift the focus and kind of get that expensive digital SLR effect that you see in films and movies where the background's blurred out, but the person on camera is in focus. So you can do that through the camera control tab in Switcher. And to use this feature, you would cue a camera to the preview window and then hit the camera control tab, and from there you can adjust the sliders. You can also remotely control other cameras, so if you make an adjustment on a camera and you push it to the program feed, you could cue another camera to the preview window and go to the camera control tab and start to make adjustments on that while it's in the queue without the live audience seeing the adjustments that you're making. So that's a big benefit of using the preview window. There is one limitation depending on your device. If it's an older device, the camera might not support this function. Also, if you flip to the front-facing camera, it doesn't support the depth of field. So on most iPads, you'll have to use did I do that right? There's the front and the rear-facing camera. The camera that's on the same side as the screen. That one you can't do the focus for. I don't know if any of us know the answer to that.
The front and rear, yeah.
If anyone wants to jump in the comments, clarification on front and rear camera.
I always say the rear camera's the one facing you, but I don't know if that's right or not.
We should just call it the selfie camera.
There you
go.
Selfie
camera.
But the camera that is pointing out to the world, in most cases you can bring that to the preview window and you can enable camera control and adjust the slider. But make sure you have good lighting and make sure there's actual distance between the subject and the background, and you'll be able to use that and get some really cool effects. So that's the depth of field. Cool stuff. Yeah. Check it out.
Yeah. So, in addition to the user group happenings, we see, questions and really inspiring videos and user stories and stuff. We also have a blog on switcherstudio.com where we highlight some exceptional users, really interesting user stories.
And we talk about strategy.
And we talk about strategy there too. We talk about a lot of things, but in particular, this past week we published a story about Brittlestar, and so Angela had a chance to talk with them about how they're using Switcher, and so I'll let Angela take it away.
So if anyone isn't familiar, Brittlestar was a Vine channel that came out about 2012, I want to say. They got millions of views. They got a lot of deals with Disney and other organizations. And of course, when Vine went down last year, they were looking at new avenues to continue producing content. It's made up of a guy named Stuart, his wife, and their 2 sons. They started out on YouTube, moved to Periscope, and eventually moved to Facebook. And what they've been doing is, at this point on Mondays and Fridays, they're doing a live broadcast called The Morning Show Thing, where they just have a really great time. It's very laid back. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of audience interaction going on. And I was able to talk with Stuart just a few weeks ago. He mentioned one thing he loves about the Facebook platform is that he's built a community just through that Facebook Live show where different viewers will comment every day and they've gotten to know each other and become friends, just people from all over the world. So from the different platforms he's tried out since Vine, Facebook is definitely the ones that they're planning on staying with. And we actually, on the blog, I was able to write up a promotional piece just about him, going over how he got his start, some of what his current setup is. He's actually got the setup in his basement, which he's turned into a studio, and places where you can see their live content. So again, if you're interested in checking him out, I know we love watching the show here in the office. The handle is Brittlestar on every social media platform, so Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. You can look at Brittlestar and get their daily updates, and of course you can see their live broadcasts, and that's at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 a.m. for early risers Pacific time.
We were also very inspired by Stuart Reynolds and Brittlestar and this new format that we're launching and the intro and some of the graphics. That's a format that we saw other people doing on Facebook, and Brittlestar in particular, and it's a great example of how to make a good video. And
Yeah.
so
And it doesn't stop when they're not home either. They
Oh,
went to
gosh.
Disney
They
World.
take it with them.
Yeah, they take it with them wherever they go. They went to Disney World a couple weeks ago, and they asked for challenges from their viewers. And
She's
so
like-
people would comment, and so he rode some roller coasters. He's typically not a fan of roller coasters. And then they shot video while they were out and about in the park, and then put that into their live streams. So it was really interesting. They've got a really great show, and we encourage you to check them out.
Awesome. And that's something, the idea of bringing in other video, that's kind of a low tech thing that you can do to make your live video more interesting, especially with video insertion in Switcher. We have cameras on us all the time. Most of us here watching have iPhones, and we document our lives. We take pictures of our friends and our family and the events that we go to. If you record a video segment or you take a couple of photos, load those into Switcher before you start your broadcast and talk about your week. Talk about your friends, what you're working on. It allows people to connect with what you're doing, and that's something we're trying to do a better job of. I know I haven't been on some of these broadcasts recently, and Whitney is a pretty
Yeah, I've been
fresh
pretty
face.
MIA for the last 5 months.
So Switcher is an easy app to download on the App Store, but it takes a lot of work to
To build an audience and to connect with the people who view your stuff, you have to put some effort into it. And so Switcher is really great for making your video look good, but you have to put the work into connecting with the people that you want to reach. So that's part of what we're trying to do here. We're a team of people that we enjoy hanging out with one another at the office. So why not show that to you guys on camera?
And this is just a handful of us. There are a lot
Right,
of
there are
other
a
people
lot
behind
more.
the scenes. We've got the nerds locked in a closet.
Not really locked in a
Adding
closet.
those non-camera features and
Yeah.
some of the cool stuff coming down the pipeline. So
Yeah. So Dan, do we have any other questions come through?
We've got a couple questions. I think that are kind of more feature requests. Things like Gabby asked, "Is there a faster way to remove media from so they don't use Switcher Cast and they're bringing in PowerPoint, JPEGs, and so is there a way to remove those quickly, or is it still like the long hold and take one out each like that?"
Okay. So Gabby, if you're adding photos inside, also thank you for submitting the commercial.
Yeah,
Yours
it was really
really
great.
Where's our heart emoji? If you press and hold on an asset, a photo or a video, the menu that comes up has a multi-select option. In the top right corner it says select. You can tap that icon and you can pick as many of your resources as you want, and from there you'll be able to delete it. There'll be a little delete option or trash can that shows up in the corner. So if you're bringing a bunch of stuff in through Google Drive or Dropbox, or dragging and dropping through iTunes, but you need to clear it out, that multi-select option will help you kind of free up some real estate and screen space in Switcher for your next
Expedite
production.
the process and everything too.
Yeah.
Cool.
I also saw there was some tips people were throwing out. Someone had mentioned Bluetooth audio is a great way to get wireless audio for Switcher. So we do support Bluetooth if you pair your microphone before you start the production. That's going to be your sound for Switcher. So you don't have to use a $400 wireless mic. If you have a Bluetooth headset, sync it up and get on camera.
Another question we had was, of course, talking about GoPros.
Okay.
Trust me,
Oh,
guys.
yeah.
I would love to integrate with GoPro, but that's kind of on GoPro's. And I think, you should go tell them, hey, we want you to view. We
Yes.
want
Tell
go tell
them.
GoPro you
Yeah.
want to use
So
their
we've
products
heard
with Switcher
drones,
Studio.
We've heard GoPro. We've heard Mevo camera. To have direct integration with other hardware requires cooperation from those hardware manufacturers in a lot of cases. So let us know what you want. That's how we keep making this product better.
But also let them know.
Let them know.
Yeah.
GoPro in particular is a big technical challenge because of the way that they manage Wi-Fi. The GoPro camera itself broadcasts or creates its own Wi-Fi network that you pair your camera to. So once you do that, you brick the Wi-Fi capability on your phone. It's paired to this GoPro, and we lose any ability to support multiple cameras. And it doesn't look like that's changing anytime soon. There are other workflows where you could bring a GoPro into a capture card in a computer or through a wireless encoder.
But
They'll start driving up the cost.
And it doesn't make it's not able to be mobile anymore, which is kind of part of
Right.
our shtick.
So, GoPros are awesome, and they've been around for a while. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out here that have a drawer full of GoPros.
I do.
So we're not giving up, but we need their cooperation in order to make that a good experience and something that works well for everybody. There are some creative solutions that we're talking about internally, but we're not a hardware company, so to be able to make the other gadgets and things that interface with these cameras, it's just not something that we're set up to do. So if there is anyone out there listening that wants to partner on this, we've got some ideas and some information we can share to help move these kind of things along. Also, this will be a little while before we can really start pushing this, but the Raspberry Pi is a really cool, cheap hardware for building programs and making cool stuff. And I know some of the guys on the team have been talking about what we could do with Raspberry Pis, just to hook up a webcam or kind of play around with it as a do-it-yourself project. So I don't think this is something that we'll officially support or like take to production, but we've seen some other people that have turned Raspberry Pis into little wireless webcams, and we might be able to document some of this and share it out for anybody that wants to play around with it. It could be a cool little project.
Yeah.
You want a few more questions?
Yeah.
Sure.
If we have them.
Yeah. Gus has a question. Shout out to Gus. I think he was
Gus.
he was in the beginning of our video on that video loop there, I'm pretty sure. And Gus, I gotta say, I really do like your profile picture. But Gus wants to know, is there a way to store live recorded video directly to the cloud and not automatically to the iOS device?
Okay, so in Switcher today, if you're recording sessions, it will save to the device. Our next update, we're making it really, really easy to access previously recorded content that's saved on your iPad so that you can reuse it in future productions, but it is using the local storage. Some services like Facebook and YouTube have a replay feature or server-side recording, but it's capturing everything from beginning to end. We're kicking around the idea of clips and highlights and how we can make that a good experience. So I think that's probably what you're really looking for, and it's something that we're thinking about. It's just going to take some time for us to get it right.
Well, I think he was asking, if you're doing a live video and you want to quickly move those, like automatic upload to the cloud instead of storing on the device. I think that's
so
what
I
was
could have
going.
missed the mark on that one. Let's chat. Let's set up a call. I think this is a good idea, and we need to figure
That was
it
more
out.
of a feature request. I think.
Yeah.
So,
another-
thanks, guys. We'll catch up.
A couple other things that are in here. Yeah, people are asking about drones and 360 cameras. Again, we'd love to add them, but we're kind of at the mercy of those people who are making those. But Eduardo had a question and would like to know, I asked if when you use Switcher to do Facebook Live, will it display the news feed? So I think that's the comments
Okay.
inside of Switcher. So I don't know if we wanted to, that's a feature
Yeah.
request. I don't know if you want to get into that or...
So Switcher, today you can link your Facebook account. You can stream the pages, your timeline, groups, pages, events. You can do it all inside of Switcher. Once you start broadcasting, you can produce your event, switch between cameras, add photos, graphics, videos. And in a lot of cases, what you have to do today is watch that broadcast on another device to be able to see the comments and interact with your audience. So I'm using my phone here. I'm just watching the stream like the rest of you, so that we can keep an eye on some of the comments coming through. Dan's got the comments up on his computer. He's watching the broadcast. That's really been the only solution so far, but we are working on native in-app Facebook Live comments. Facebook Live comments. And that should be coming out in Switcher really, really soon. We've got some beta builds floating around in-house that have the chat tab, and I've seen some sneak peeks on it. So really looking forward to pushing that one out for you all. And if you're a one-man show and you're producing video on your phone or initially it'll be your iPad, you'll be able to see those comments in real time. Or if you want the person directing it to be able to monitor those and jump in like Dan is here, they'll be able to do it all right inside of Switcher. So coming very, very soon.
Yep.
Awesome. And Eduardo had another question, wanting to know the differences between our different apps. We've got Switcher Go, and then there's Switcher Studio on the, I assume the iPad and the iPhone. I actually just wrote an article on this that's going to be out on our website pretty soon. So
Switcher Studio is our flagship product. It's the rocket ship. It's where you can do all of the cool stuff. To get started, you would go to our website and create an account, or you can download through the App Store and create an account inside of the app. But you want to make sure you make it back to the website, or you're going to miss out on some of the other features and software that works with Switcher. So that's our core product. It's really easy to use. We've got a huge knowledge base on the website. We also have desktop applications that work with it. One is called Switcher Cast that allows your MacBook to show up just like a camera. So if you have a website or a presentation that you want to show, it's easy to bring that into your production. We have another application called Media Manager, Switcher Media Man, that allows you to take project shot using Switcher's director mode and move it into post-production. So you could sync it up with Final Cut Pro and edit without having to start from scratch. All of your cameras show up synced. Every cut that you made live is already there. And we recently rolled out an update for Media Manager that improves on some of that functionality. So it's not just your camera cuts, it's bringing in your photos and your videos to your timeline. If you're doing multi-view effects, it has reference points for when those two are on screen so you can rebuild those. Huge time saving if you plan on doing any type of post-production. And both of those apps we're working on porting to Windows. So hopefully later this summer we'll have Windows screen sharing, or Windows version of Switcher Cast, and looking to tap into Premiere and being able to use the director mode capability with other editing software. Through that online account, you can also link your Facebook, your YouTube account, set up streaming channels if you're doing RTMP, run speed tests. So that's where it all comes together. And you'll want to download the app or go to our website. We have two other products. One is called Switcher Go. It's the free version of Switcher. Allows you to stream to Facebook or YouTube. You can pair one remote camera and control it from your pocket. So you could have a camera across the room and start and stop the broadcast from your pocket. You can add up to 4 photos or videos. If you want to start doing more things, check out Switcher Studio. And then our other product is Ricoh Live Multicam, and this one has been around the longest. It's served as the foundation for a lot of the things that we've been able to do today, and it's for recording only. So it doesn't have the live capabilities or the video insertion and screen sharing, some of the newer features that we've been developing. But if you just want to sync up 4 cameras and have those record, Ricoh Live Multicam is a good place to start. So you can go to our website. You can learn more about this. Dan, as he mentioned, is putting out a post that kind of more clearly illustrates the difference between Switcher Go and Switcher Studio. But anything I missed?
No, I think that's
it. Yeah. Just a couple of things a couple more feature requests I can kind of.
We need to do a separate show that's
feature
requests.
Yeah.
Green screens and text on the fly. Those are things that are on our radar. We're not working on them currently, but that could be something down the road. And then to clear up a couple other things, someone asked about the DJI and saying that we do work with it. And it'd be great with the DJI Spark now. We don't work with like the drones or the DJI cameras. We work with the DJI Osmo Mobile, which is their gimbal. Yeah, Nick can go run and grab one. So we're still connecting with the iPhone there. That's what we're using as the camera. We're not using the DJI cameras. So that one, while it'd be really cool to be able to use them. Yeah, here, let me switch cameras there. Where are you going, Nick?
We got Angela's cam.
Oh, there it is.
Gonna
Gotcha.
block my face.
Yeah. So there it is. That's the Osmo Mobile. As you can see, it doesn't have the camera on there right now, so you would have to clip the camera in to get that there. And then another thing to clear up is can you use laptop as a switcher? No, Switcher Studio is just an app, but you can bring in your computer screen as a source using SwitcherCast that Nick was talking about earlier. For instance, if I go like this here, you'll see there I've got the stream pulled up right there on my laptop, and I can bring that in using SwitcherCast. One more good question I think we can answer, and then I think that's probably going to be about all the time we have. But of course, if you have more questions, put them in here, and we'll go back through and answer as many as we can. But someone was wondering about audio and audio from a remote camera, and why you can only use audio from the main switcher.
Okay, so for Switcher Studio, you have to bring your sound in through the main device where you're doing all of your camera switches. By default, it's the built-in microphone. You can bring in through the headphone port or the lightning jack. We also support Bluetooth audio, and there's lots of adapters and accessories you can get to manage different types of audio, from shotgun microphones to lavs, but it has to come through that main device. If you cut to a camera across the room, it's still going to use the audio that's coming in at the main switcher. And one of the technical reasons why we have this limitation in place today is audio over Wi-Fi sucks. It's not good. The way Wi-Fi works, it sends data in bursts or in packets, and if that information doesn't make it there, it's not relaying or making a callback to make sure that it gets where it needs to go. It's just gone. With video in general, audio is probably more important than anything you're going to see on screen. If it doesn't sound good, people aren't going to stick around. So having audio from a remote camera over a local Wi-Fi network, there's a lot of technical challenges. I'm not saying it's impossible, and it's something that we are exploring and trying to find a good solution for. But if the audio is not there, or it drops out, or it cuts out, it's not going to be good for anybody. So that's the reason why we have that limitation in place today. Using the Bluetooth audio component is a good workaround to get some wireless capabilities. You're not going to be able to set up for a football game and throw to somebody on the side of the field and have a Bluetooth mic work. But that's where traditional audio comes into play. If you're at a conference or a concert or an event where there's house sound and there's lots of microphones and there's a lot of different things that you need to hear, and they're coming through the PA, chances are you could get a line out from that soundboard.
In fact, I can kind of show that right here if you want.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of what we're doing here. So as you can see in the back here, this is our audio mixer. It's got just 4 little channels there. So you could see the shot. If I go to Angela, there's one shotgun mic there. And then on my shot, if you look up right where it says like right above Wednesdays, right there is the other. That's mic for Nick and Whitney. And all those are being run through here. And then I got it going through just an iRig Pre. And I know a lot of you audio guys out there are probably freaking out saying that the iRig Pre takes a mic level and you're taking a line level out of the board. But trust me, like as you can tell, it sounds great. You just drop your gain all the way down and then just bump it just a little bit, and you're gonna get that great audio still. So,
something else that there's a lot of gadgets and toys that are coming out to solve this problem, because audio is its own monster, and there's absolutely more that we can do there. One of the first stepping stones for us making audio better in Switcher was video insertion. By allowing users to insert video, that video is going to have audio going along with it, and we have to mix that with the microphone. So there were some big structural changes to the way that we manage audio in order to make that possible. That's moving us in a direction where we can do mixing for multiple channels, or maybe eventually you'll be able to load audio files and play sound and mix it within Switcher. We're never going to be done with this thing. I know I say that a lot, but it's just going to keep getting better, and we really, really value your feedback. So keep the comments coming. We're probably going to have to wrap for this broadcast, but we'll jump in after the show and make sure we respond to every comment. And that's a good word of advice to a lot of our listeners and our users and creators that are making video. If you're doing live video and people are taking the time to watch what you're doing, make sure you give back, and just letting them know, if somebody says hey, say hey back. If they ask a question, make sure it's answered. If you don't get to it in the comments, jumping in after your broadcast and replying to people, and keeping that conversation going after the live broadcast has a tremendous value.
Absolutely. And so we really hope that you all give us your honest feedback on this new format. Let us know what you think. What do you want us to talk about next week? We are really interested in hearing your feedback, and we want to do everything we can to make this show really great for you guys. So.
Ooh, and share.
Yeah, please do.
We have a cool new graphic for this. Dan?
Wait, which one am I bringing up?
So we're going to let him do that. We'll keep talking. So some of the other things that we've found through Facebook Live, the more people are commenting, the more shares you have on your video, the more people it's going to reach. So it's not just having a good quality broadcast with good audio and maybe putting your logo on screen. That's a great starting point. You can have all of the cameras and all the cool graphics and videos in the world, but if people aren't engaging and if they're not sharing your content, it's going to fall flat. Facebook is to some extent prioritizing live video, and it's going to see more people just because you're doing live, because that's what they're doing. But if people are engaging, there's a little extra push behind that. Also, if you're doing any kind of paid online anything and you have a budget for Facebook Live, boosting your post afterwards, putting just a few dollars behind it, $5, can help you get a boost on that. And these are things that we're just now discovering and learning from other people, and we still need to try, but it's what we're hearing and it seems to be working. So thank you so much for commenting. If you can share this out, it would really help us out a lot, and we'll try and keep making better videos, and we've got a few more graphics we didn't sneak in this week, so we're going to save those for the next one. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for using Switcher. If you are seeing this or hearing about us for the first time, go to our website, switcherstudio.com. Check it out. Is there anything else you want to say before we wrap?
No, I think
we covered it all.
All right. So Dan, you want to throw to our title card, and I think
Yeah,
we need
just-
some
I
beats.
gotta-
We need a
yeah.
outro music, but yeah, next time. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.